Who hacked my YouTube? Well, I'll talk of an incident. When I was working at the provincial level, something happened in the office and I suspected somebody. Actually, the deputy provincial boss was all the time asking me, whom do you suspect to have done this and that? And I suspected so and so. And of all my colleagues, he was the regular person to my office to know where the whole case has reached and to offer his sympathies. But in my heart, I knew he was the one who did it, but I couldn't confront him. Later on, the truth came out, and it was found that the person whom all the facts indicated that it was him was not him, but somebody else. And I went to his office wanting to apologize, but I remembered if there are sometimes the truth are bitter, it would cause more problems. So I went to his office and just told him, I noticed that you are the most concerned person in the office, and thanks. But when I left my office, I was going to his office to tell him that, do you know that you are the one I was suspecting? But I just told him, I thank you for showing concern, because all my colleagues were concerned, yes, but you are more concerned than all of them combined. So as at the time of recording this, I have no full proof of who that is. A lot of people who have approached me are telling me that most likely the international people they are calling phishing. They just maliciously do that and do that. But I have two strong suspicions, just two strong suspicions, which could be either of them. First of all, there is a recording that I did explaining why I do what I do without fear. And when I recorded that, somebody with, most of the people who have accounts, even if he calls himself John Kamau, you are not sure whether that John Kamau is really John Kamau. But we have some people who have accounts which obviously are, you just know that is. You see, the one I've just given an example is you say most probably he is John Kamau, but there is a small possibility that is not his real name or her real name. But there are others who just call themselves Fly 22 or whatever. You just know no human beings called that. One of them asked me that, don't you think that NIS, if they are after you, they'll just come to you because they know where you stay, they know whatever. I immediately answered him by saying, what I know is that I meant that not that they don't know what where I stay, where I move or whatever. That one I know. But I say I'm careful not to cross the line of the law, because the moment I'll cross the line of the law, they'll swarm at me as bees. He said, okay. That same day, I went to my house, and I stay in a house that when you lock the padlock, there is a square metallic thing that covers that hole. So for 2 or 3 days, I noticed that because when I leave, I make sure that I push that square to the door. There's no time I leave it hanging. So 2 or 3 times, I told Huatengeres that I've noticed every time I leave, I find it, somebody has pulled that. Instead of it being flat, it is at around 30%. There's 30 degrees. But then placing the hand inside the hole, you find the padlock is just there. So 3 or 4 times. Then there was another day, I entered the house, found things fallen down. I looked, there is a wall unit where there are things on top of the wall unit. They had left up there, went and they were on the floor between the TV and where I usually like sitting. Of course, I usually am at home between around 5 p.m. So Huatengeres comes a bit late, around 8. So when she came, I looked at the things. Is there a way that these things could come out of the wall unit and fall on the ground? I didn't understand. I told her. Then we looked, because the wall unit is next to a window. We looked at the window and tried to reason. We saw that, first of all, that window, the house is made in such a way that there is a veranda which was converted to be an extra room. So previously, when that house was still new, that window used to be the outside window. But right now it goes into the extra extension. I said, how could somebody enter and then come? And then we tried to look at it. You see, the wall unit is higher than the window. So even if the person was in that extended room and tried to push things up, so we just concluded that somebody had entered into my house. Remember, this happened a few days after somebody had told me, and there are ways people talk. There are ways people talk. Just like if you go to a police station and pretend to be a police officer or anything, it will take at most 30 seconds for the police officers to know that you are cheating. There are those unspoken communications. So whoever had this fake account and was telling me, I tried to associate the two. How does it come? Immediately after him telling me, and the way he was talking, if I could read, you know, there are ways you talk. Professionals, there are ways you can talk, and anybody who is not in that profession will hear that, but will understand it differently from what you are saying. So I think he had dropped some hints to me. But then, anybody joining Kiganjo, joining at that gate, has signed a death warrant for the rest of his or her life. Imagine, I'm seated somewhere, not even Nairobi. Okay, nowadays I'm known because of the whatever. But imagine a person like me traveling home, reaching a place like Nakuru. I get a place to rest the way I've gotten a place to rest here. Then I see two police officers walking lazily with guns. You see, I know they are the police officers. I see them with the uniform, isn't it? But they don't know that I am a GSU trained, CID trained, special branch trained, and Kiganjo trained. So if I have to dash for the gun and take it and shoot them, whatever, you know what I'm saying. So it is, just understand that it is not me who's putting my life in danger. All police officers you see around walking, they are putting their lives in danger. So the only, I know that was a message. I checked the house, nothing was stolen, nothing was, except there was this Melvis Tangawizi tea packs. It had left where it is on. It was placed on. We placed it in the wall unit, but it was no longer in the wall unit, but it was on the table, and it was pressed. You see this plastic, this not plastic but paper, hard paper. You press it, it bends and it can never go back to normal. So I saw that, and that is less than a week before. my YouTube was hacked. Then what happened next? What happened next was that around that time, even before that thing happened, where I stay, we had agreed with that. Now this is a second possibility, and as I said, I can have even 4 or 5 possibilities, but later it will be discovered that all those are my suspicion. Remember the case I said, somebody whom I used to suspect later on proven to be innocent. So we, as up where we are staying, our houses are on ground floor, but in the middle of where we are staying there is a house that has up to second floor, 3 stories, that is up to second floor. So we sat around 10 people. We went and decided that we should have an aerial for Wi-Fi, and then these 10 houses, each one would have a booster and whatever. We approached one of the internet service providers wanting to do that, but he insisted that you know, he was looking at it from business. That is what we took it, because you see, joining up and then having boosters, we would pay. We were calculating between 500 and 700 per month, depending on the people who will pay it up later. So we approached him, and he wanted all of us. You see, if the 10 of us were to sign the ISP, each one would be paying 1,500 per month. But if we do the system we are doing, apart from having boosters which will be placed in the house at a cost, but monthly we'll be paying around 5 to 700. He didn't want so let's say 700, that is 7,000, and he wanted us each to have 1,000. So it is a question of him getting 15,000 and 7,000. I went to his office, we talked. When we talked, he told me, you see, if you people have one, someone may hack it, and maybe post something, and you'll all be arrested. Then I told him, okay, let me go and consult other people. We checked each other, and so, you see, we have that neighborhood, and we don't see anybody. We saw he was trying to use the truth to hide the truth. He was trying to tell us of a possibility, but when we looked at each of our co-tenants, none looked to be the type who can do that. So we went again, and then there's a time I stopped. I have the messages in my SMS. There's a time I stopped him along the road and told him, hey, Bwana, we need you. He said, I'm very busy. So he went away. And then it went on that way. So when my YouTube was hacked, I tried to resuscitate the plus my email. I tried to open up my email. It was saying wrong password, and then they were saying that you seem to have forgotten the password. You seem to have forgotten the password, and we have sent the password to blah blah blah, and then they gave the last two numbers. And I tried to imagine who else can be having those 2 last numbers. I checked and found it was that ISP provider. It was ISP provider, and we have a history. Long ago, before people started monitoring things from their phones, we used to dash to the cybers. So a long time ago, I started an email of Yahoo. When I was using his cyber cafe, there's a time I found that my Yahoo, I could not access it. Then I told him to assist me open a Gmail. It was just the same. That one was hwatengelando@yahoo.com. And this one I said hwatengelando@youtube, at Gmail, hwatengeland@gmail.com. That was the second one. And I opened at his place. But then there was a time I could go to his cyber, and those days I used to find that when there is a blackout, there was no logging out. There was no logging out, because whenever a blackout would be out and I would go to that cyber to browse, I would find another person. So I'd say, there is somebody's Facebook account open, and they'll tell me, okay, we had a blackout, and when the power came in, whatever, let me log out for that person, and then you log in. I have never changed the password I used in Hwatengelando at Yahoo is the same password that I used in Hwatengelando at Gmail. And I talked to people over WhatsApp, over phone, we communicated, and people are telling me, do you know anybody whose last two numbers are similar to what you have said? I said, of course, one of them has a cyber cafe and is an ISP. So many people told me, call him, and if he picks the phone, pretend you are just having a topic to talk, and an idea came, maybe a short story to try and tell him where we as residents had reached. I called him several times, the phone rang, and he never picked it up. He never picked it up several times, and I even went and told my friends, I'm calling and he's not picking up. That was on Monday. Today is Tuesday, approaching 5 p.m. He has never called me to find out what was said, whatever. So all indications are that he's the one who did it. I don't know whether it is the security who are doing it. I don't know whether it is him, or I don't know whether it is anybody else. I even don't know whether it is in relationship to the contents of what I air. But I want to assure my viewers that, you see, if it is true that whoever did it was trying to scare me, then he or she has chosen the wrong horse for betting. I will continue the way I've been continuing, irrespective of what people do or what they say. Just like it would be unfair for me to stop uploading things because of such an incident, it is equally unfair for me to now become so harsh or whatever, or the contents be tough because of what happened. I can assure my subscribers that I'll try as much as humanly possible to retain that route. You had corrected me. There's a time I got annoyed and whatever, but you people corrected me and said, just keep yourself to the topic, and I'll do that. Whether this is the first and last, or whether such things will come there 4 or even 5 times, I will just maintain that syllabus that I had set for myself. Come rain, come sunshine. Just like I'll not be afraid and run away, and I will also not be come and now start talking more things with whatever. Let it be just my temperament, and my topics should be the way as it is. Whether I retain that YouTube or I start another one, mine will be just within what I've started and what we had agreed with my subscribers, that I maintain that. Thank you.